Reptilians, welcome and welcome back to the channel. Make sure that you're subscribed because a Wednesday video is coming out very soon and there may or may not be a giveaway in it too, so it's coming, guys. Make sure you're subscribed so you know when. So this week we are doing a video that one of you guys actually requested a couple weeks ago, and that is all about how I get my feeders for my reptiles. I think the original request was for me to just buy food for a week, but I don't really buy food like that. I am very inconsistent, and where I get it from and how much I get at one time is never ever a consistent thing. So I just did a really big order at Josh's Frogs, which would be in today, and I have to go to some pet stores. So I thought that I would show you guys what I get, how much I get, and what animals I get it for, and all that jazz. Towards the end of the video, there will be some feeding footage. It's probably mostly going to be my bearded dragon, but maybe there'll be some other animals in there too. I don't know. This video is sponsored by I Heart Gecko, so make sure you stay until the end of the video to find out all about this amazing company and our continued sponsor. Let's get started. So before we get into how I personally got feeders this time, my biggest suggestion is to shop locally owned pet stores. You will save a lot of money this way, and you are also supporting local businesses. I unfortunately haven't been able to get into my local pet store very often because of how far it is away, but I did want to put this first in the list. Shop local if you can. For anyone who lives in my area, because I know quite a few of you do, that is Animal Tracks in Madison, and the second video is of the pet food store in Decatur, Alabama. And now on to how I got my food this time and how I've been getting most of it for a while now, ever since COVID. This order is from Josh's Frogs. Josh'sFrogs.com has so many feeders and they're always pretty healthy. I've only ever had a couple of tiny issues, but they fixed it super fast. In this order, I ordered a 50 count of waxworms. See a lot of these in here this time. Usually there's not any of those in there. These will serve as a quick treat for the leopard geckos, crocodile skink, the cave gecko, and the bearded dragon. I paid $4.99 for 50 of these, which is about the same as chain pet stores, but I found that these live a whole lot longer. I also always order very small crickets from Josh's Frogs. 1/4 inch. This is this way. 1/4 inch crickets for baby spiders. This 120 count pack of crickets was $6.99, so that comes out to 0.06 cents per cricket, so that's less than a penny per cricket as opposed to Petco and PetSmart's 11-12 cent a cricket. Flightless fruit fly colony for dwarf slings. This is a producing culture, so I paid $7.99 for this, and it is going to keep producing flightless fruit flies. And hornworms, these are mostly for Zaz because no one else really eats them and she absolutely loves them. This 25 count I paid $16.99 for, which if you were to buy these at Petco or PetSmart, you'd be spending $3 to $4 per worm, at least here in the United States, or this way it was about 67 cents per worm. Do these bins. So these containers were super cheap. They were $3.99 each, and I actually got them to put crickets in, but those air holes are way too big. If you're interested in these, the brand is Pet Supplies Unlimited, and this is the large size. I'm not sure what I'm gonna do with these. For right now, they're just going to go on my container storage shelf. And as far as my dubia roaches, you guys know by now that I get those from thedubiadude.com. Josh's Frogs also sells dubia roaches, but they cannot ship dubia roaches to my state. There are a few states that they cannot ship dubia roaches to, but you do have multiple options for dubia roaches buying online as well. I just get mine from the Dubia Dude. This particular video is not sponsored by him, but if you order from him, use the code Elle for 10% off of that order. And of course, since I do buy larger quantities of these feeders, all of them will need to be gut loaded. The really cool things about hornworms and fruit fly cultures though is that the gut load's already in there. You just turn the cup upside down for the hornworm so that the waste falls to the bottom, and all of that stuff at the top is their gut load. And for the fruit fly colony, everything that they need to survive is already in that jar. I do not gut load my waxworms. Like I said, they are a one-day treat, so the day they come in they get fed off, but the crickets and dubia roaches do need to be gut loaded. I will leave a link to a whole video all about gut loading here, but basically I just throw some vegetables in there. This already has a carrot in it, and that is what they will eat. And as a last resort, if I run out of something and I need it that day, I do occasionally get feeders from Petco and PetSmart. I try to avoid this at all costs because it is so incredibly much more expensive. I've already told you about the crickets and the hornworms. This fruit fly culture, this is one that I got the other day from PetSmart. It was $7 compared to the culture I got from Josh's Frogs. I paid $1 more for the culture from Josh's Frogs. So I try not to buy from Petco PetSmart because it's so expensive and the crickets aren't the cleanest. In case of emergency, or if that's your only option, that is still an option. And now stop talking about feeders and we can actually watch the animals eat the feeders. Feeding footage!
Yummy. She says yummy?
Yep. Eat it. So yummy.
And that's it. I know you guys are gonna ask about how long these feeders are gonna last me. I don't know. Like I said, I just buy a whole bunch of feeders and I just kind of monitor it. And when it's getting low, I either put in an order if I notice soon enough, or I just run to PetSmart if it's an emergency. I really don't know. I just kind of have my feeding routine and just pay attention to how much I have left. As I said at the beginning of this video is sponsored by I Heart Geckos. I Heart Geckos is such a cool company that allows you to take any old aquarium that you may have laying around or a new aquarium that you just got and turn it into a front opening tank. These are especially fantastic for things like crested geckos and garo geckos who need larger front opening tanks. The big brand name large front opening tanks like that get very pricey very fast, and this gives you a more affordable option for those, and then your crested gecko can have an affordable, appropriately sized tank. These conversion kits are super easy to install. You just use a little bit of silicone and you install it in there and they last. Mine has been set up for over a year now and it's doing fantastic. I haven't had to touch up on anything. Make sure if you order one of these awesome kits, you put Elle's Reptiles in the How Did You Hear About Us box, so that way they know that you guys are coming from here. Thank you so much to I Heart Geckos for your continued support of the channel. As always, if you have not already, please feel free to follow me on my other socials and like, subscribe, and hit that bell for notifications every single time I put out a new video, which is every Sunday and some Wednesdays. Again, Wednesday video coming very soon, like in the next couple weeks. Make sure that bell is on so that you know when it's happening. This week's Instagram shout out is for Anastasia Grace for following me on Instagram and going through and liking a whole bunch of my stuff. And this week's subscriber shout out is for All Canadian Reptile Girl. Don't know if I've given you a shout out before. I should probably start keeping track of these things, but thank you so much for always commenting on videos and being super supportive. Thank you guys both so much. You are the bee's knees. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope you have a fantastic day. Bye. Make sure to stay until the end of the video because At the end of the video, why? To go, do not miss the focusing issues. With these bins. As always, make sure to stay until, make sure you stay, or a new aquarium that you just got, any old aquarium, opening tanks, and those, ooh, future me, editing me. Thumbnail for this video. Let's set up the glass, let's set up the background, and let's just sprinkle some random feeders on there and take some pictures, because that sounds like it'd be a cool thumbnail. You're welcome, editing me.